Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Today's podcast is going to be about ChatGPT. It's evil and a blessing at the same time. I want to talk about my experience with ChatGPT and and whether you should use ChatGPT as a student or not. We can't deny that ChatGPT gives you so much for us teachers. If you want to write something, if you want to plan a lesson, you can easily do that, right? No problem. So in a way, it's a blessing for teachers. We can grade the marks very quickly. We can come up with exercises very quickly. We can come up with texts very quickly for the students, right? So it's not a problem. The issue that I noticed with ChatGPT is when it comes to students. When you assign students tasks, right, or homework or writing to do, the first thing they do is go to ChatGPT. Maybe they write something on their own, and then they feed that writing into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT would give you a text, a final draft. And oftentimes that final draft is much, much better and more accurate than your original draft. It sleeps into the future, so to speak. The issue remains is that ChatGPT will, yes, improve your writing, but you don't improve. ChatGPT gives you the illusion that you improved, that you wrote something. And remember when I started writing short stories, I was fascinated by ChatGPT. I was like, all right, I can just draft something and ChatGPT can edit it. I wrote short stories in the past and I just destroyed by feeding them into ChatGPT, because ChatGPT now claims those stories as theirs. Because if you feed that story into any zero GPT model, they will detect that it's made or created by ChatGPT, although the plot, the story is mine, but now it is claimed by ChatGPT. The way GPT does or structure the sentences, it's very unhuman. And the problem with that is it's easily detectable, right? For example, there are going to be certain sentences that are going to be worded in such a way that would be clearly a GPT generator, right? And that's an issue. It's something that I hated. I was happy. ChatGPT gave me the illusion that I write better, that I write better short stories, right? When you read your short story edited by ChatGPT, you feel much, much, much better. You're like, oh my God, this is perfect. And you feel like you are a prolific writer, like you can write short stories. But now let's eliminate ChatGPT from the equation. If you can write the same story, the same way, maybe better, without ChatGPT, then you are a good writer. If you can't do that, then you're fake. Whatever you did, whatever you worked on, whatever you think you did in the past, you thought you improved by using ChatGPT, you didn't actually. So that's the issue, is that once we eliminate ChatGPT, once you sit in front of a paper in the exam and you have to write something, you have to come up with something on your own, you have to structure the sentences your own way, you are going to have an issue, because you relied most of your life or most of your training on ChatGPT that you can't come up with something on your own. Because humans can break grammar, can make sentences interesting. ChatGPT may give you the boring stuff, but writing is a creative way of expressing yourself, right? So you can make writing more interesting. You can break sentence structures. You can give your writing a style. ChatGPT does not give you that style. You cannot come up with something new. It would try to copy other authors' styles, but it would not give you something new, right? So you as a writer should do that. You should, when you write a lot, when you write more often, and you have people read, and you read also your own work, you will become better at writing. The only way to become better at writing is to write a short story and to feed it into ChatGPT. Yes, I'm saying ChatGPT, feed it into ChatGPT and say, give me commentary on the short story. So ChatGPT then will become the teacher, will tell you what you need to improve, what you need to do. And if you do that more often, over times, the mistake you did before, you would not have to repeat them. For example, ChatGPT will tell you, don't write very long sentences, right? Most of the time when you write a very long sentence, people tend to run out of breath and cannot read for a long time, right? So it's not very interesting to have a very complicated sentence in your writing. Consistency. When ChatGPT says, right, there is no consistency here in your writing, right? So you can improve in your consistency. Maybe on the structure, how you structure your ideas. Maybe it's chaotic, maybe it's unorganized, right? And ChatGPT will help you or tell you to organize that, right? The wording of certain words, maybe ChatGPT is going to tell you, right, these two words don't go together. This is incorrect. There is incorrect grammar here. So when you get those kind of feedback, you will improve over time. But if you just give ChatGPT the short story and ask him to edit that, give you the final draft, so to speak, then you don't improve. But if you ask for feedback and you improve, you correct it yourself, right? Given the feedback that ChatGPT gave you, then you improved. So here you use ChatGPT to help you improve, right? Your writing, so to speak. So it's very important to know that you shouldn't fall for that illusion. Most people are lazy. You don't have time, maybe you have 30 minutes, you cannot write. But the struggle that you go through when you write is what makes you become better. You struggle, you try to come up with ideas, sometimes come up with the words that are lay dormant in your head, and sometimes you don't know the spelling of the word, but if you do something again and again, you will improve in the future. So my final thoughts on ChatGPT. Do not use ChatGPT as a final draft. Use it as an instructor, a tutor, someone that is going to tell you what's wrong with your writing and how to improve it, but not write you an essay or write you a short story. Same thing for me. If I write a short story, I have everything that I need to write a short story. I have everything that I need to write a short story, a very good one. So relying on ChatGPT to write one would mean that I'm not competent, that I'm not capable of producing a piece of writing. So yeah, I basically gave up on ChatGPT a long time ago. And now I just write short stories. They take a long time to write, but if I write something, I write it on my own. I don't slack off. I don't just feed ChatGPT ideas and ChatGPT would give me the short story already ready. So I don't do that anymore. Same thing for homework. If I assign my student homework all the time, for example, a short story to read, you shouldn't feed ChatGPT the story and get the summary and get the plot and get the ideas about that. You should read the story, learn expression, highlight. I highly encourage, if you have a tablet, you can highlight. If you can print the story, that would be much, much better. You will learn so much more. You will enjoy much, much better if you were to read it and like interact with the short story, learn those expressions, learn those new words. You can write, you know what I used to do in the past? if I read a short story, I would write down those nice structures, nice sentences, because authors sometimes destructure their sentences in a very interesting way. And you can take them, you can steal them, right? You can take those sentences and you can use them in your own writing so that you can, steal idea sentences from here and there, right? And eventually you'll have your own style, a combination of different kinds of styles, right? So when you read a short story on your own and define the difficult words without having to rely on ChatGPT, you will have a long-term effect. You would remember the story maybe 20 years, 10 years from now. If someone asks you about the short story, you would be able to remember because there was so much effort. When you spend so much time doing something, interacting with something, involved in doing something, you're more likely to remember that. But if you spend less time doing so, you're less likely to remember that. These are my thoughts on ChatGPT and how you should use it. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Until then, bye.